You saved $10,000. Maybe it took you a year, maybe two. You skipped the vacations, you packed the lunches, you said no to things your friends said yes to. And every finance guru on the internet told you the same thing: invest it. Put it in an index fund. Let compound interest do the work, and in 30 years you'll be rich. $10,000 invested at the average market return won't even cover 2 years of retirement. So why does every expert keep telling you this is the path? You did what they told you to do. You opened the brokerage account. You picked the S&P 500 fund because that's what the Reddit thread said. You set up auto deposits like a responsible adult. And then you checked your account after 6 months and saw $83 in gains. $83. You gave up dinners out for $83. Meanwhile, your rent went up by 200. Your groceries cost more than they did last month. Your car insurance renewed at a higher rate for no reason you can find. And the advice doesn't change. Stay the course. Think long-term. You're building a foundation. That's what they say when they don't want you to do the math. Because the math is brutal. $10,000 at a 7% average annual return, after inflation, after fees, after taxes, gives you roughly $19,000 in real purchasing power after 10 years. You waited a decade to double a number that wasn't enough in the first place. But here's what gets me. The people giving you this advice, they're not wealthy because they put $10,000 in an index fund. Not a single one of them. They got wealthy a completely different way. And nobody talks about that gap. The gap between the advice they give and the strategy they actually use. This isn't about you making a bad decision. You didn't fail. The advice itself is designed to work for a system, not for you. In 1980, the average American household income was around $22,000. A median home cost about $47,000. That's roughly a 2-to-1 ratio. Today, the median household income is around $80,000. The median home, over $400,000. That ratio went from 2-to-1 to 5-to-1. The cost of living didn't just rise, it decoupled from wages entirely. And that changes everything about the investing math they keep quoting you. The investing advice isn't wrong, it's outdated. It was built for an economy that disappeared 40 years ago. In 1978, the Revenue Act introduced the 401(k). It was never supposed to replace pensions. It was a tax loophole for corporate executives. But companies realized they could shift the entire burden of retirement from their balance sheet to yours. The financial industry doesn't make money when you get rich. They make money when you participate. Every dollar you put into a managed fund, an index, a retirement account, someone takes a percentage. Not when you win, when you play. Think about how a casino works. The house doesn't care if one person wins. They care that 1 million people keep sitting at the table. The financial system runs on the exact same math. The average expense ratio on a mutual fund is around 0.5 to 1%. That sounds like nothing. But on $1 trillion in managed assets, that's $5 to $10 billion a year, extracted whether the market goes up or down. Your returns are variable. Their revenue is not. That's not a partnership. That's a toll booth. A 2023 Federal Reserve study showed that the top 10% of households own 93% of all stocks. That means the entire invest your way to freedom narrative is a game where 90% of the players hold 7% of the chips. The entire modern financial system runs on debt. And not just any debt, interest-bearing debt. You borrow $100,000 and you pay back $200,000. And they tell you this is normal, that this is how money works. But it's not how money works. It's how extraction works. When the Federal Reserve prints money, that money enters the economy through banks and financial institutions first. They invest it, buy assets, drive prices up. By the time that money reaches your paycheck, the prices have already risen. Economists call this the Cantillon Effect. It means your $10,000 is losing purchasing power at the exact same rate you're trying to grow it. You're in a race where the finish line moves backward. This is why the advice feels hollow. It's not because you're doing it wrong. It's because the advice is a pressure valve, something to keep people busy so they don't ask the harder question. Not hopeless, just clear. The biggest shift isn't a new stock pick or a better savings app. It's understanding that the game you were told to play was never designed for you to win big. It was designed for you to participate quietly and pay interest along the way. You now know more about how this machine works than most people will ever learn. That's not a small thing. That's the starting line that actually matters. Here's what's interesting though, everything we just talked about, that's only the savings side of the equation. There's another side nobody talks about. And the system has a whole different set of traps waiting for you there.